Hello and welcome to the Eye, your English news bulletin. I'm Esther. These are the headlines. The Konyak Union has strongly alleged poor construction work, discrepancies and even looting of funds in the construction of the Marangkong Mon 2-lane road in Mon district. The Uttarakhand police on Thursday said they have caught 13 tourists who came to Dehradun with a fake RT-PCR negative report. Fugitive businessman Mehul Chokshi reached Antigua and Barbuda early Thursday morning, 3 days after the Dominica High Court of Justice granted him bail on medical grounds. Now for the news in details. For the first time in Nagaland, Dimapur's Faith Hospital has introduced a dedicated accident and trauma center facility with an own team for it. The public relations officer of the hospital, Dr. Thungbe Mohamtsoi, told HornbillTV that the facility is Nagaland's first, with a team consisting of a surgeon, an orthopedist, a neurosurgeon, a plastic surgeon, a radiologist, an anesthesiologist, and an intensivist. The team will be offering 24/7 services, it was informed. The Konyak Union has strongly alleged poor construction work, discrepancies and even looting of funds in the construction of the Marangkong Mon 2-lane road in Mon district. The union issued to the media on July 15 a copy of a representation that was addressed to the Executive Director of the National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, demanding action. Along with the District Administration, District Law Enforcement Authority, Department of PWD Roads and Bridges, National Highway and Housing, the union stated to have inspected portions of the road on July 7, and those where SSR Crest and Manoranjan Brahmo are the two firms in operation. The union alleged that work is at snail pace with the completion period nearing, but not even 20% of the total stretch of roads had been completed in Package 4. The union alleged further that the contractor has been looting road development fund under the guise of high security protection. Manoranjan Brahmo is the lone company where tight state security and bodyguards have been provided, but they are looting all developmental funds under such protection by randomly executing and displaying unskilled workmanship, which is a daylight robbery, the union alleged. Further, there are unskilled project manager and engineers. The union has detected that all the irregularities and anomalies arose on account of unskilled project managers and site engineers of Manoranjan Brahmo. The union has demanded that the authority to replace them with well-qualified skilled project manager and site engineers within 15 days. The union alleged that damage to already completed portions have been detected, which the union said should be rectified, while other anomalies such as the use of stone dust both in wall construction and road construction, which the KU said was not at all advisable. Further, the union also said to have detected contradictory details with regard to the town portion. If the town portion road is not widened now, it may face huge traffic congestion in the near future, the union stated. The KU has requested strict monitoring and supervision by the NHI DCL and to set up a proper office in Mon town with sufficient field engineers for supervision. In adherence to the Civil Aviation Requirement Section 3, the Commissioner of Police Dimapur, Rotiho Tetsio, in a notice has informed that any remotely piloted aircraft or RPA like drones, unmanned aerial vehicles and others shall not be flown within an aerial distance of 3 kilometers from the perimeter of Dimapur Airport. It was notified that violations shall amount to suspension or cancellation of UIN, UAOP of the RPA issued by the Director General of Civil Aviation and shall attract punitive action under relevant sections of the Indian Penal Code, Aircraft Act 1934, the Aircraft Rules 1937 or any statutory provisions. The Uttarakhand police on Thursday said they have caught 13 tourists who came to Dehradun with a fake RT-PCR negative report, news agency ANI reported. The tourists were arrested in Clement Town area, quoting police officials. That 4 people are accused of making fake documents and registered a case. It was also informed that 100 fake RT-PCR negative reports have been detected till now. Hill stations like Mussoorie and Nainital have seen a huge influx of tourists in the past few weeks since the coronavirus disease curbs were relaxed by the Uttarakhand government. Though the overall curfew is continuing till July 20th, the state government has given many relaxations to resume economic activities. The Union Health Ministry as well as Uttarakhand government have expressed concerns over tourists thronging the popular holiday destination, whether to escape heat in the northern plains or to just move out of their homes. The Uttarakhand police and the government has made carrying RT-PCR reports not older than 72 hours before coming to the state. The police have increased surveillance and set up checkposts at border points to catch the violators. A 29-year-old woman identified as Amak Dolo of Bodo village in Sawa Circle of East Siang district has reportedly gone missing since yesterday after her Mahindra Scorpio vehicle skidded off the road and fell into the Pare River in Papumpare. The accident occurred at around 9:50 am at Balapu village in Sagali, ADC Circle of Papum. The vehicle was coming from Sepa towards Itanagar and was being driven by one Bishop Nampe, who is also 29 years, of Nampe village in East Siang district. Nampe reportedly sustained severe injuries and was taken to the Sagali Community Health Center. The officer in charge, Inspector Ogi Darin, who is currently leading the search operation, informed that they are at the spot and search operation by the local police and the relatives of the missing woman is on. He informed that the NDRF has also joined the search operation. Inspector Darin informed that the search mission has been on since yesterday but has not yielded any positive results so far. Search operation will continue, he informed. A group called the IHRO, possibly International Human Rights Organization, are said to have seized on July 15 more than 300 kilograms of plastic bags and handed over them to Pasikat Municipal Council in the presence of the District Deputy Commissioner Kinni Singh, East Siang District, Chief Councillor Okiem Moyong Borang and Kipa Gagung, Executive Engineer of PMC. The Deputy Commissioner of East Siang praised the work done by the International Human Rights Organization team, update stated. Very soon, plastic will be banned totally in East Siang District, and it was informed that the RHRO is working in collaboration with the PMC, update stated. Fugitive businessman Mehul Chokshi reached Antigua and Barbuda early Thursday morning, 3 days after the Dominica High Court of Justice granted him bail on medical grounds. People familiar with the development said Chokshi landed at Antigua's VC Bird International Airport in an air ambulance around 3:30 p.m. Wednesday Caribbean time, following which he was received by Ministry of Foreign Affairs officials. Armed with the Dominican court order, which grants him stay in Antigua for medical treatment till he is fit to travel back, Chokshi didn't have any problem with immigration authorities, people familiar with the development said. His lawyer Vijay Agarwal said that his client Mehul Chokshi has returned to his home in Antigua safely. He faces no issues while entering back in Antigua, and he is receiving medical treatment with his family, is feeling relieved. However, torture during kidnapping has him caused lot of psychological and physical harm, it was informed. After tasting success in Dominica, now legal team is gearing up for a long-drawn fight in Antigua. Chokshi had gone missing from Antigua, whose citizenship he holds, on May 23rd and was detained by authorities in Dominica, 200 kilometers away, the next day, following which his family members had claimed he was abducted. India sought his deportation from Dominica directly as he was prohibited immigrant there, for which he is facing charges there. An Indian team had flown to Dominica on May 28th, hoping to get him deported, but Chokshi filed a habeas corpus in Dominica High Court alleging abduction and torture. Antigua's Royal Police Force is probing the abduction allegations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday gifted developmental projects worth 1,583 crore to his parliamentary constituency Varanasi. He had said ahead of the visit that these projects will further improve ease of living for the people of Kashi and the entire Purvanchal region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate several projects for the development of his parliamentary constituency Varanasi. He also said that Varanasi faced COVID-19 crisis with courage and resilience. Whatever is happening for the development of Banaras, all that is happening by the blessings of Mahadev, Kashi showed that it never tires, it never stops, even in time of crisis. With resilience, Kashi faced the coronavirus disease crisis with courage, he added. He said that Varanasi is becoming a medical hub in entire eastern Uttar Pradesh. Work is underway for setting up 550 new oxygen plants in Uttar Pradesh, he added. The Prime Minister arrived at the LBS airport in Varanasi on Thursday morning. He was received by Governor Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Adityanath welcomed Prime Minister Modi ahead of the address and in his inaugural address said that his regular guidance for effective COVID-19 management was praised by various countries in the world. Projects worth about 10,300 crore were completed in the last 7 years and schemes worth about 10,200 crore are in progress, said the Chief Minister. One of the highlights of the projects inaugurated by the Prime Minister is a state-of-the-art convention center, Rudraksh. Constructed with Japanese assistance, Rudraksh will make Varanasi an attractive destination for conferences, thus drawing more tourists and business persons to the city, said the Prime Minister. China has confirmed one case of human infection with the H5N6 strain of bird flu in Sichuan province. State media said on Thursday, the 55-year-old male infected with the bird flu in Bazong city had been sent to hospital and local authorities have culled poultry in the vicinity, said the state broadcaster CCTV. Experts believe that the infection was an occasional case and the risk of an invisible epidemic is extremely low, the media said. In other news, the US Senate passed legislation on Wednesday to ban the import of products from China's Xinjiang region, the latest effort in Washington to punish Beijing for what US officials say is an ongoing genocide against Uyghurs and other Muslim groups. The Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act would create a rebuttal presumption assuming goods manufactured in Xinjiang are made with forced labor and therefore banned under the 1930 Tariff Act unless otherwise certified by US authorities. Passed by unanimous consent, the bipartisan measure would shift the burden of proof to importers. The current rule bans goods if there is reasonable evidence of forced labor. The bill must also pass the House of Representatives before it can be sent to the White House for President Joe Biden to sign into law. It was not immediately clear when that might take place. Republican Senator Marco Rubio, who has introduced the legislation with Democrat Jeff Merkley, called on the House to act quickly. Rights groups, researchers, former residents, and some Western lawmakers and officials say Xinjiang authorities have facilitated forced labor by detaining around 1 million Uyghurs and other primarily Muslim minorities since 2016. The Indian Medical Association has raised objection to the provision of including the Ayush into the modern medical system during the training of medical students, saying it is contrary to established norms, superfluous and an attempt to initiate mixopathy. In a letter to National Medical Commission, the IMA said it is not prudent for an intern trained in modern medicine to partake and practice a system of medicine which he has not learned in undergraduation with know-how and show-how paradigms. And straight away coming to do it in an internship is dangerous to the public and the system, the IMA stated in its letter on Thursday. Referring that Ayush and its components are vast subjects, the IMA said that working there for a week, the intern will not learn any new skill and there is no clarity who shall be their mentor and will they be assessed by NMC faculty norms or not? The IMA asked what objective role or competency will be learned which will augment competencies as IMG. Should engineering and agriculture science too be added for a week as it will make interns a perfect human being, the IMA asked. A 1-week period exposure, especially in another system of medicine, will only pave the way to a half-baked mixopath, which is disastrous for the country, it said. The Ministry of Civil Aviation on Thursday released the updated the Drone Rules 2021 for public consultation. An official statement from the ministry said, built on a premise of trust, self-certification and non-intrusive monitoring, the Drone Rules 2021 will replace the UAS Rules 2021. The last date for receipt of public comment is August 5, 2021. As per the draft of the Drone Rules, Approvals for drones have been proposed to be abolished, which includes unique authorization number, unique prototype identification number, certificate of conformance, certificate of maintenance, import clearance, acceptance of existing drones, operator permit, authorization of R&D organization, student remote pilot license, remote pilot instructor authorization, drone port authorization, and others. Safety features like no permission, no take off, or the NPNT, real time tracking beacon, geofencing, and others to be notified in future. A 6-month lead time will be provided for compliance. The yellow zone is proposed to be reduced from 45 kilometers to 12 kilometers from the airport perimeter. No flight permission required up to 400 feet in green zones and up to 200 feet in the area between 8 and 12 kilometers from the airport perimeter. Import of drones and drone components to be regulated by Directorate General of Foreign Trade. Some other key takeaways from the draft include no security clearance required before any registration or license issuance and no requirement of a certificate of airworthiness, unique identification number, prior permission and remote pilot license for R&D entities. Issuance of certificate of airworthiness delegated to Quality Council of India and certification entities authorized by it. That's all for tonight's English News Bulletin. I'm Esther. Keep watching Hornbill TV.